Good morning. This practice this morning is yoga for back care. We're going to be going through a series of asana that is dealing with just taking care of your back. So most of the time we're hunched over, really compromised posture, if you will. Neck hangs from looking at cell phones, shoulders are rounded, belly is generally just soft. And what this morning's practice is going to explore is opening the discs, so spinal extension. So taking those spaces between the vertebrae and just trying to help open them quite a bit, so that if you suffer from any tense or compressed type of vertebrae, you might find some relief with today's practice. So it's meant to be a spinal extension practice. So one thing I will say is I hope that you know your body, and if you have any issues with your back and you've talked to your physical therapist or your physician about your back, you should know what you can and what you cannot do. So that's super important, because today we're going to be working on back bends, nothing like a wheel or anything like that, but we'll be working on just the spinal extension, so opening of the vertebrae. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you do have any issues when you're going through the practice, just please remember it's always your practice. Modify for your body. And I think I'm going to go ahead and turn off, swipe off the comments so that you can all see. Okay, so today what I'd like you to do is set your mat up against a wall. So I'm going to show you how I have my mat up against the wall. So if you can do that, take a moment to do that. If you have blocks, a blanket, and a strap, that'd be great. If you are not near a wall or don't have a wall, it's okay. Just go ahead and find yourself and bring yourself to the mat. Again, as always, I have a dog or two here that might interrupt the practice, so I just ask that you're patient and you move with it, okay? So let's get started. We're going to start with your blanket or your towel. So take your towel or your blanket, and you're going to have it like folded so that you have, you'll have some thickness, because what's going to happen is you're going to take this blanket, and in class what I'll tell people is you're going to begin to roll it like you're rolling a really tight burrito, okay? Pretend you're working at Chipotle or whatever your favorite Mexican restaurant is. So really roll your towel nice and tightly, or your blanket, and then you're going to set up your blanket on your mat. Your feet will be moving toward the wall. Your head will be away from the wall. And we're going to come down. Our knees are bent. Rufus, you need to get out of the frame, buddy. Knees will be bent. Our elbows will be on that burrito blanket, all right? And you'll take a nice deep inhalation. Feet are on the mat. You'll lift the chest. And then on your exhalation, you'll bring your shoulder blades, the bottom of your shoulder blades, onto that blanket. Now you'll have your block handy, and you can go ahead and put your head on the block if that feels yummy. Chin moving toward the chest slightly. Bring the arms out to a T, and go ahead and adjust the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the knees bent and have the crown of the head on the block. Or if you really want an extension in your neck today, you can just have the crown of the head on the floor. And I'd like for you to just relax into this, okay? So the shoulder blades are right on that blanket, that rolled blanket. Your chest feels nice and lifted here. Like right where your bra would be is kind of where your chest is open. You should feel some openness in your armpits, okay? So if you have it too high up on your shoulders, you're not going to really feel it in the chest. So make sure that you adjust, take the time to adjust so that you feel a nice opening in the chest. Close your eyes, my friends, and you can bring the knees together, the feet wider than the hips if that feels yummy. And just begin to breathe. You know, so often, the other thing that I love about this practice, this back care practice, is that it really is a great practice for posture. And I can't tell you how many private clients that I work with that have challenged posture, and I think that it's so common in our society right now with all of our technology. We tend to round our shoulders, our upper back, soften our belly, jet our head forward, our chin forward, and so these postural practices, this yoga for back care practices really help us to open up the chest and really open the muscles and soften the muscles in the chest. And this might be super uncomfortable for you because you might have the beginning of a kyphosis, which is the slight curvature of the spine up at the top in the thoracic vertebrae. And guess what? You're not alone. You're probably, I'm going to say about 70% of the population, because I see it every day. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay that way. What it means is that you just need to work on your posture. And yoga is a great opportunity to change your posture. Go ahead and begin to deepen your breath, starting at the base of the belly button, moving all the way up with a soft belly. Really into the chest, the throat, the nostrils, and on your exhalation, start with the nostrils, moving down the throat, the chest, the belly, the low belly. And let's do that a couple more times. Long, slow, deep breaths. Return to your normal breath. You're still relaxed here. Bring your awareness to your chest, really trying to soften all of the space in the chest. So I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news of posture. I don't want to be like the downer of the day. You got 99 problems and yoga ain't one of them, right? So my point is that, gosh, I really, if it's one thing I could teach every single person that I see and that I know and that are strangers, I would love to just create this world of beautiful posture, because I know how much it helps us. All right, let's go ahead and take a nice deep inhalation. Bring the arms up toward the ceiling. The palms are facing each other, so the arms are straight up from the shoulders. Take a nice exhalation, and on your next inhalation, nice and strong inhalation, bring the arms up overhead, upper arms alongside the ears, palms facing each other. Okay? Now have the knees hips distance apart, the feet are on the mat. Take a nice inhalation, and on your exhalation, draw the tops of the shoulders down toward the waist. Move the navel in toward the spine and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that blanket pile with your shoulder blades. Keep breathing here with the shoulder blades squeezing away from the ears and into that blanket. So now we're creating some warmth, some strength in the upper back muscles and shoulders. Exhale, relax the arms, relax into this. Breathe, palms face up. Take a nice deep breath here. Your next exhalation, draw the navel tightly in toward the spine. Have the palms face each other. Move the shoulder blades strongly into the blanket below and away from the ears. Keep breathing here as you strengthen the upper back and shoulder muscles. Don't ever forget to breathe in yoga. It's the one thing that's just like the most super important thing. Because ironically, we hold our breath a lot during the day. And so now I have the second thing I would teach strangers or anybody I know. I would teach everyone, if I could in the world, to just breathe. Don't forget to breathe. So now I have two things I really want to share with everyone, right? Because I want you all to be so healthy and happy and have joy and love and kindness in your life. Exhale, relax into this, palms face up. Ah, feels yummy, right? Okay, take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, gently, softly, kindly roll to your right side. Bring your left hand alongside, palm on the ground, and then use your right hand on the ground and your right arm and left to push yourself up to seated. Remove that blanket. Okay, now make sure you have a block nearby. So grab your block. And now also grab your strap at this time. And let's go ahead and move close to the wall. Okay, now let me walk you through this. So we're sitting at the wall. Our knees are bent at about, 30 degrees. So we're gonna come back onto our elbows like we're at the beach, checking everybody out. Ooh, check the waves out. Wouldn't that be nice right now? Be doing yoga on the beach. Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, draw your buttocks toward your heels so your toes are at the wall. Come back on your back. Alrighty, friends. So now your knees are bent, your toes are at the wall, your back is on the mat, you're lying down. Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, straighten your feet flush with the wall, so the knees now are slightly bent, and then press into the whole foot to push yourself away from the wall. But you want the feet nice and flush against the wall, hips distance apart. Okay? Alrighty, friends. Take a nice deep inhalation. Draw those shoulder blades into the mat underneath and away from the ears. Draw the chin slightly toward the chest. On your exhalation, bring your right knee toward your chest. Press strongly that left foot into the wall. Start with the hamstring this morning. See where your body is at today. Grab the hamstring if you can. Shoulder blades still move into the mat. Both feet are flexed. That left leg is strongly rooting into the wall. Yeah, you're pressing that foot strongly in. Keep breathing here. Keep that chest nice and open. Your chin drawn towards your chest slightly. Breathe here. And on your next exhalation, maybe now you grab the shin. But don't try not to sacrifice the chest being open and the shoulder blades strongly pressing into the back. Okay, so if you find yourself when you grab your shin, you find your shoulders starting to round up, go ahead and bring your hands back to your hamstring, okay? So you want your chest nice and open is the point. Yummy, right? All right, my friends, let's grab our strap. And you're going to go ahead and take the strap or your necktie, right? Because we don't all need a strap. My first mentor in Iyengar yoga, Jillian Harper, she used to say, you don't have to have a strap. Just grab your husband or your dad's necktie, right? Because way back when, we didn't have straps, right? So take the strap around the ball mounds of your feet, okay? Not the arch, the big meaty part right underneath the toes. Keep the knee bent. Strongly keep that left foot pressing into the wall, and take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, begin to lead with your heel, extending your right leg up toward the ceiling. Check in with your hips, my friends. Did they move? Did they turn? Did they twist? See if you can make them parallel on the surface below. So nice and solid. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this first and foremost. Take your shoulders, press the shoulder blades into the space underneath, open the chest, dip the chin toward the chest, press the foot into the strap and the strap into the foot. Good morning, hamstrings. Thank you for arriving. All right, this I hope feels yummy. Sometimes it does, sometimes it's complete torture. Now, depending on your hamstring flexibility, you could be here, all right? So if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. But keep the shoulder blades pulling strongly onto the surface below. So my beloved Michael is like this, and he knows I always joke about his tight hamstrings. And I'm up here, and that's just me, okay? But you'll see I might be different on the other side, right? And you might be different on the other side. So keep breathing here, my friends. Keep pressing that foot into the strap into the foot. Check in with your left leg. Is it still strong and pressing into the wall? All right, let's take a nice deep inhalation. Grab both pieces of the strap with the right hand. Take the left arm out to like a half of a T, palm facing up. Now, pretend your left foot, your left hip, and your left shoulder are glued to the surface that it's in contact with. Your next inhalation, open up the chest, and on your next exhalation, begin to draw the right leg out toward the right. People, move slowly, 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 slowly. See if you can bring your elbow onto the ground, surface below. And now remember, keep the hip, the shoulder, the foot, that left foot glued into the wall, and keep bringing that right leg out to the right. Chin moves in toward the chest. Now, if your left hip starts to come up, your left arm, shoulder starts to come up, then you need to pull your leg in a little toward the ceiling again so that you're not twisting into this. The point is to have your torso and your left leg flat onto the surface below. All right, once again, press the strap into the foot into the strap. Try not to death grip your strap, my friends. And you keep a nice relaxed right hand by resting your elbow on the surface below. Keep breathing here. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Feel the dynamics of pressing your foot into the strap into the foot. That left leg is still super active, and it might be getting tired at this point, right? All right, take a nice inhalation. Slowly, slow motion, bring your right leg up to center. And readjust the strap if that moved a little in that last. And let's work into the Supta Padangusthasana 1 once again, which is just the leg moving toward the ceiling, lengthening through the hamstring, the calf, the Achilles. All right, let's take a nice deep inhalation. On our exhalation, grab both pieces of the strap with the left hand. Bring the right arm out to the right, palm facing up into a half T. Now, tricky part, bend your left knee, put the foot to the mat, and if you can, begin to turn your hips toward the left, and now readjust your left foot against the wall with the toes facing toward the left, the heel toward the right. And then we bring our right leg out toward the left, keeping the right shoulder moving strongly into the surface below. Okay, why did I need the blocks, Christine? Well, if you want to rest your foot on some height of the block because you can't get that foot down to the ground, that's what the block is for, okay? You'll hear me say this a lot. I love props. I studied Iyengar for many years, and I love the Iyengar tradition because it introduced me to blocks. And blocks help you move, and they're just, I love this. Blocks are an extension of your limbs, right? So our bodies are all different. So we need these props to help us move into these asanas in a lovely alignment for our body, yes? Now in this pose, press the strap into the foot into the strap. Keep your left leg active with the foot moving into the wall. All right, let's take a nice deep inhalation. Begin to draw your right leg up. Adjust, bending your knee, your left knee, and moving onto your back again. Take your left foot to the wall. Release the right leg from the strap. Bring the right leg to the wall. Turn the feet out. Relax completely into this. So now we're just kind of taking a little mini shavasana here. But in these couple breaths that we're going to have here, please take your attention to the lower half of your body, feeling if there's any difference from one side of the hips, the legs, to the other side. All right, my friends, go ahead and bring your feet to the wall once again. Bend your knees slightly, scoot your bottom toward the wall a little bit, and then once again, strongly pressing into the whole surface of the foot. Press yourself away from the wall so that you're nice and taut as you're pressing into the wall with the feet. Take a nice deep inhalation. And your exhalation, draw the left knee toward the chest. And let's start with our hands underneath the hamstring. Press strongly into the right foot. Okay, so your right foot is pressing into the wall. Open the collarbones, nice and wide, by pressing the shoulder blades away from the ears and into surface below. Dip your chin towards your chest. I don't know what I was going to say there. That began with a T. That was very odd, but toward your chest. Let's go ahead and grab the shin now if you can. Remember, don't compromise your shoulders. So try not to roll the shoulders toward the ceiling. Keep the chest nice and open. Keep the knee moving toward the chest, the chin toward the chest. Breathe, my friends. All right, let's grab our strap. And make sure you have equal distance on each side of the strap. Let's swing the strap into the ball mounds of the left foot. Now before you want to go ahead and jump into extending this leg, let's take this nice and slow. So go ahead and take a nice deep inhalation. Keep that right leg strong by moving the right foot into the wall. Your exhalation, lead with the heel moving toward the ceiling. Extend the left leg. Okay, check in with your hips, my friend. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little tidbit about myself. I have a little bit of a issue with my left hip sometimes. So what happens when I do this is my hip tries to turn that hip crease moves toward my shoulder when I extend the leg. Take your left thumb, move the left thumb into the left hip crease and press that hip crease away from you. Okay, so now I've straightened my hips. Open the chest, keep the shoulder blades strongly moving into the surface below, keep the right leg strong. Strongly press the strap into the foot and the foot into the strap. Well, today is the first day we have doggy activity. So you'll probably see, if you're watching me, and I hope you're not, actually I hope you're doing your practice, we have Rufus with us, the little French Bulldog, and Daji, the big Rhodesian Ridgeback. And apparently they want to be part of the video today. Rufus, that's not a good idea to chew the pillow. Yeah. Take a nice deep inhalation. On your exhalation, grab both pieces of the strap with the left hand. Bring the right arm out to the right, palm facing up. Inhale here deeply, and your exhalation, begin to draw the left leg out to left side. Use your block if you need to. Bring your left elbow down. Now remember, work slowly with this so that your right hip, your right shoulder, and your right heel, everything's planted. Your hip isn't turning up. Everything is nice and flush and working into the surface below. When you come to that point where you can't open it anymore, that left leg out to the left, press into the strap into the foot. Hey Rufus, let's not chew the chair today. Yeah, not a good idea to chew the chair. Rufus. You can come get him if you'd like. Oh, well he's chewing something. Keep breathing. Take a nice deep inhalation. Go ahead and draw on your exhalation. That left leg up. Now we take the strap pieces with the right hand. Bring the left arm out to the left, palm facing up. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot to the mat. Go ahead, press your right foot into the mat. And begin to lift your pelvis and turn your hips toward the right. Extend your right leg, press your right foot, toes facing the right, heel facing the left, so that your hips are stacked here. And bring your left leg out to the right. Press your foot into the strap into the foot. Really work to keep the left shoulder moving into the mat. Keep breathing, my friends. Try not to tilt your chin up here. So I don't know about you, but I always have one side different from the other. And that is completely normal, my friends. All right, take a nice deep inhalation. Bring that left leg up to the ceiling. Go ahead and roll onto your back. So now your back is flush with the mat. Release the left leg. Bring the left foot to the wall, the right foot to the wall. Go ahead, allow the feet to turn out and come into a mini shavasana, just to feel the bottom half of your body here. Just breathe. Again, noticing any difference. I hope that you all feel like you just really stretched everything out in that whole lower half of your body from the hips down. That's always my wish for everyone when we do this asana practice for back care. All right, my friends, let's bend our knees and make sure you grab a block. Okay, so you're going to draw your knees You have your knees bent. Have your heels as close to your buttocks as possible. Have all 10 toes facing the wall. And let's bring our block, the skinniest setting, between the knees. All right? We're going to take a nice deep inhalation, and on our inhalation, go ahead and take your arms underneath your torso, your shoulders shimmied underneath your chest, and your bottom will come down onto your hands or on the surface of the mat. The hands can face down, palms face up, or down, however you prefer to do this, this bridge with a block, okay? So before we work into this in bridge pose, the object is to move the breastbone to the nose, not the nose toward the breastbone, okay? But you do want your chin dipped slightly. So take a nice deep exhalation here, drawing the navel in toward the spine. And on your inhalation, press firmly into the feet, squeeze the block as you draw the pelvis up off the mat. Okay, so now you're here. Press into the full length, all the way from your shoulders, moving down your upper arms, your forearms, your hands, your fists. Press into the block with the feet. Chin moves toward the chest. And my friends, 3 deep breaths here. And 3rd breath, really try and press even more. Pelvis lifting, chest toward the nose. And on your next exhalation, go ahead and release 1 vertebrae at a time down from that pose. Yummy. Okay, so let's kind of go into a little bit of a supported fish here, half fish. So roll to your right side, press yourself up, and place your block on the lowest setting. Grab your other block, and you can bring it into a T, like in the lowest setting. All right? Now, come onto your bottom, knees bent, feet on the mat. Take that first block, it's lengthwise in the lowest level, and go ahead and bring where the bottom of your bra line would be into the middle of your back at your bra line. So go ahead and lie down on that. Now take your other block, rest the base of your skull on the other block, and you could do this at either height. You could do this at the lowest setting or the medium setting or the highest setting. I have mine on the medium just to demonstrate for you all. Take your feet, your heels are close to your buttocks, toes turned in slightly. And then have the elbows a little bit away from the body, bent, in line with the rib cage, the palms face down. And then we'll take a nice deep exhalation, drawing the navel in toward the spine. And on our inhalation, press strongly into the elbows and the forearms, and open the chest here into a half fish pose. So you're probably up and off the block that was underneath where your bra line is. If you can press and you have that strength. If you're not, you're just creating that pressing motion of opening the chest. One more deep breath here, my friends. And then exhale, come down, remove the block from your head, roll onto your right side, and then let's come to hands and knees. Alrighty, gang. So, you're on hands and knees. Make sure you have your blocks near you today, because I Props are really your friends here for this back care practice. So you're on your hands and knees. For my friends who find down dog challenging or wrist injuries, or you're just dealing that you can't with something that you can't do your down dog, go ahead and press strongly into your child's pose. Really working your child's pose, pressing away from your hands. Forehead comes to the mat maybe. If not, it can come to a block, but really lengthen through the spine, pushing the tailbone back, buttocks to heels, forehead to mat. For my other friends, go ahead and tuck your toes and come into your down dog. Really lengthen through the spine. Remember, this is our spinal extension and lengthening today practice, posture practice. So really work into your down dog strongly, moving the sits bones up toward the sky and then back toward the space behind you. Navel moves in toward the spine. Neck is nice and soft. All right, take a nice deep inhalation, come down to your knees again. Take the right leg forward with the knee bent, the foot right underneath the knee. Lift your back leg by tucking your toes slightly and then moving the heel toward the wall with a space behind you. Inch your toes back so you can have a nice open space for this low lunge. Everyone grab your props and let's take the blocks to about the ankle, where the ankle is, yes? And now I love this for back care because low lunge here, when you really delve into this and do this for a while, and I really feel like everybody should do low lunge every day, you really work into the psoas muscle, which is really a great, it's not great, it's one of the causes of low back pain. So let's go ahead. Take a nice deep inhalation. We'll draw our shoulders away from our ears and on our back. On our exhalation, we go ahead and we move into this lunge, even more so drawing the left front hip forward and down ever so slightly. Keep the navel moving in toward the spine. Keep the chin tucked slightly. Let's do 3 deep breaths here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Go ahead and take a nice inhalation, and on your exhalation, press your right knee back. Inhale here. You can still keep your hands on the blocks if you'd like. Exhale, take the left leg forward. Left knee is bent right over the left ankle. And then bring your hands to the mat for a moment. Lift your back knee slightly. You're on your toes. Your toes, and move your right heel back toward the space behind you. Wiggle your toes to really open the hip as much as you can. And then place the knee down. And here's where you can use your blanket for your knee if you have some knee tenderness. All right. This time, maybe on this side, you might want to come up onto your left thigh. Take a nice inhalation, draw the shoulder blades on the back and away from the ears, and on your exhalation, begin to gently move your right front hip forward and down. Keep strongly rooting into the big toe ball mound of the left foot. 3 deep breaths here. I am light. I am love. I am peace. Right, my friends? And then go ahead, your next exhalation, press back onto your knees. My friends that do child's pose, go into child's. My other friends, go ahead and tuck the toes. Press into your down dog. Really grip with every part of your hand. The fingers are nice and wide. Inhale, look up slightly. Begin to hover your chest towards your hands and then walk your feet towards your hands. Keep the knees slightly bent. Take the hands to the thighs. Pull the chest forward and come up on your inhalation. Okay, this is a fun way to use the wall for our warrior pose. So we're going to start with the the right foot forward, left leg back. So come into your warrior one stance and go ahead and take your block and bring your block to the wall and then measure where your shin can press strongly into that block. Okay, that's where you start first. Okay, now if you have both hips facing the wall and you're kind of like using the wall to assist you in this, turn your back foot, or place your back foot down with the toes out, heel back slightly, however your foot position is in your warrior one. And then we take a nice deep inhalation. We try and square the hips as much as we can to the wall. Navel moves in toward the spine as we inhale and come into our warrior one. Keep the shin pressing into the wall. Feel how that helps you take your breastbone and move it slightly forward and then back like a cobra, right? Press into the back foot. You can keep your chin moving in towards your chest if that feels yummy. Keep pressing into that right shin. 2 more deep breaths here. Exhale, bring the hands to the wall, pivot on that back foot, hop it forward a bit, grab the block, okay? Switch your feet, left foot comes in front, right foot moves to the back. Measure out your block on your shin. Make sure that you have a nice strong placement, it's not moving around. Your left knee is right above your left ankle. Turn your back foot out. Go ahead and hold on to the wall in front of you and turn your hips toward the wall. Okay, so we're squaring them toward the wall. Take a nice deep inhalation, bring the arms up. If that's comfortable, if not, you can be here, my friends, with the hands on the waist, elbows moving toward each other. Press back into the outer edge of the right foot. Navel moves tightly in toward the spine to protect the low back. Work into your warrior one. Keep pressing your shin into the block and keep moving into your warrior one. 2 more long, slow, deep breaths. And then come out on your exhalation. Beautiful, my friends. It's really opening the chest, working in our spinal extensions. Okay, so this is yogi choice, this next one. If you're one of my beginners or gentle friends, we're going to work at the wall. And if you are my advanced students, you're going to go ahead and come onto your belly and prepare for cobra, okay? So all of us are going to have the same cueing. So My advanced people get to the floor. My beginners or those who have challenges with, getting to the floor, no shame in your game, right? I say that a lot, but this is the way to practice your cobra at the wall. So we take our hands on the wall with the thumbs at the broad line. And this is the same on the ground too, friends. So if you're on the mat, you're doing the same thing. Fingers point toward the face. Elbows move onto the, elbows move toward each other, shoulder blades on the back, tops of the shoulders move away from the ears. We pull the navel in strongly toward the spine. We take a nice deep inhalation. We press into the wall and we press our breastbone toward the wall, up toward the ceiling and then away from the wall. Cobra at the wall. You don't have to look up, you can look straight. So you extend straight, your neck is an extension. Two more deep breaths. And then exhale, release. Now, my friends who are releasing to the ground, release with your forehead to the mat. Take a nice deep breath into your low back. My friends at the wall, take a breath into your low back. Take a nice next inhalation. And on your exhalation, my friends on the floor, move into your down dog. My friends at the wall, begin to press yourself away from the wall. Bring your hips right above your ankles and your knees and press into your down dog at the wall. Okay? So we do this by pressing strongly into the feet. We move the navel tightly in toward the spine and we press strongly into the wall. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Three deep breaths here. Okay, my advanced students, go ahead from down dog, move to your plank, chaturanga, and do another cobra or your up dog, and stay in your cobra and up dog for 3 deep breaths. My wall friends, walk yourself up to the wall. Thumbs at the bra line. Take a nice deep exhalation. Navel moves into the spine, elbows together, shoulders away from the earth. Press into the wall and move into your cobra. 3 deep breaths. Your next exhalation, press into your down dog. My friends on the floor, we're meeting in down dog. Okay, everybody's at down dog, either on the floor or on the wall. 3 deep breaths here, my friends. Keep working. You're almost on your last breath. Okay, my friends at the wall, you know what to do. Move toward the wall. Do your cobra one more time, 3 deep breaths. My advanced students, move into your plank, your chaturanga, and then your up dog, 3 deep breaths. And then into your down dog. 3 deep breaths in down dog, either at the wall or on the mat. My friends on the floor, come to your knees. My friends at the wall, come on to hands and knees on your mat. And then walk your knees towards your hands. Bring the feet to one side And we will come onto our backs. Let's have our head at the wall this time, my friends. All right. We're going to come onto your back. And take your shoulder blades, move them into the space underneath you. Shoulders away from the ears, knees are back, feet are on the mat. Now, take your feet, and I want you to heel toe, the feet, so that the left foot is on the edge of the left side of the mat. Now, drop your knees to the right. Bring your arms into a cactus. And now what I'd like you to do is look up and see if your left hip and your left knee are in the same line. Okay, so you want a nice line from the left shoulder, left hip, left knee. And this right knee could just come out to the right. Both feet are flexed. Take a nice deep inhalation. The shoulders are pressing into the surface below. On your exhalation, begin to press that left knee away from your body and toward the space in front of you. Yes? So you want to feel a nice opening in this twist. A nice opening once again in the left hip. And maybe even a quad stretch you might feel here. Breathe. You could completely relax that right foot. I changed my mind. So just the left foot is flexed and the left knee moving away from the body. Inhale. Both knees come up. Heel toe your left foot so that now the knees and the feet are lined up. Take a nice deep inhalation, and your exhalation, go ahead and heel toe your right foot to the right so that it's at the edge of your mat. Drop the knees to the left. And now look at your right knee and make sure the right knee, you may have to go further to the right with the foot, heel toe further up, but make sure your right shoulder, your right hip, and your right knee are all in the same line. Relax that left leg down. And then the right foot is flexed. Take a nice deep inhalation, open up the chest. And on your exhalation, press your right knee away from your body toward the space at in front of you, in front of the knee. So moving the knee away from the body and straight forward. Very nice, my friends. Keep breathing. Keep that right foot flexed. And as you're pressing that right knee away from your body, see if you can allow it to drop down toward the mat a little bit more. All right, both knees come to the ceiling, both feet on the mat. Let's go ahead now and just drop the knees. Actually, take a nice deep inhalation, press into your feet, lift your pelvis slightly off the mat, and then move the hips toward the left and drop the knees to the right for a nice spinal twist here. Keep the left shoulder moving into space below. You can use your right hand as an assist, but what I tell my students in class is that the hand should never be like, I'm gonna move you down to the mat. Your hand should just be a nice assist. If you've ever been in a yoga class where the teacher just comes by and gives you a nice little assist, it's not ever anything super jarring. It's like, oh, wow, something really, ever so light guiding me how I should be going. It just makes all the difference. Take an inhalation, draw the knees toward the chest. Bring the feet on the mat. Square the hips now so that your low back is on the mat. Take a nice deep inhalation, press into the feet, lift the hips, move the hips to the right, drop the knees to the left. You can inch the knees up toward the left armpit. And then use that left hand if you'd like. Keep the right shoulder moving softly into the space underneath. And again, assist those knees if you'd like. Gentle assist. Take a nice inhalation. Going to bring the knees up. Our exhalation. The back is flat onto the mat. And work on one more thing before we head down into our Shavasana. So my students really like this, but I take my hands and arms into a cactus. I keep my knees bent and I bring them into 90 degrees. The feet are together, the knees are together. Take a nice inhalation and bring the inhalation to the low back. So when you inhale into the low back, you should feel your low back more in contact with the mat below. Take a nice deep inhalation here. On your exhalation, keeping the 90 degrees in your knees, begin to point your feet, dip your feet down, I call it toward the water. And then exhale into the low back, bring the knees back up. Inhale, take the knees down. The toes down, dipping into the water. Exhale, bring the knees up to hip height. So just keep working with your breath. Inhaling the whole length of your low back. Exhale, bring the knees up. 90 degrees, my friends. And then take the knees to the chest. So I like to, and you can open up the knees, open, close them like they're wings, right? Open and close. I like to do that with the breath into the low back because you really isolate. You can feel yourself working the abdominal muscles when you really isolate the breath like that. And then I like to move one knee, away and toward, and then the other. And you can make circles, massaging the low back. And then go ahead and extend one leg at a time, softly, slowly, and the other leg. Have your palms alongside the torso, facing up. Take the shoulders away from the ears. And gently remind the collarbones to stay open. Dip the chin toward the chest slightly. Shake the feet out. And actually, one more little thing. If you'd like to take that roll, that burrito roll that we use, and bring it underneath your knees, that might be super yummy today. So go ahead and do that if you'd like. I'll wait for you to adjust again. Just make sure that the shoulders are moving away from the ears. Chest is nice and softly open, chin toward the chest. Go ahead and wiggle the feet. So kind of like move the feet, toes, and toes like wiggling from the ankles, and then just allow everything to drop. Take a deep inhalation, starting with the toes, moving all the way up your body, finding any places that still want to grip in your Shavasana. And invite all of those spaces to just surrender and let go. really work to soften and relax more and more with each breath. Invite that place of peace, my friends. Find peace and lightness. Actually, find nothingness in this pose. With your next inhalation, take a nice deep inhalation and say to yourself, I am light. And on your exhalation, I am love. Do that 2 more times. At the end of the day, no matter what your mind tells you, other people tell you, what it all comes down to truly is that you are light and you are love. There's nothing else that you are. Those are nouns, those aren't adjectives. You are light, you are love. And that's all you were created to be. That's all that you're meant to be. Again, wiggling the fingers and the hands. Bring the arms overhead, maybe you have to bend them if you're gonna hit the wall. No injuries, friends. Gently make movements to awaken your body. We'll roll to the right side. We'll pause here and take a nice deep inhalation. Nice deep exhalation. And we'll press ourselves up to a nice, comfortable seated position. Bringing our palms, tightly sealed, right in front of that beautiful heart center of yours. And we did all that spinal extension today, so it probably will feel super yummy to pull the shoulder blades onto the back and away from the ears. Dip the chin slightly. I thank you so very much, my dear, beautiful ones, for joining me this yoga for back care practice this morning. If you remember one thing today, remember this: you are light, you are love. Namaste. So tomorrow we have another class, so you can, we'll be advertising, I think I want to say it's flow and nidra, or flow and yin. So check it out. And we have classes all the rest of the week. I'll be doing gentle yoga 9:30 on Wednesday. And then at 11, I'm doing senior yoga. So if you have any senior friends, we are going to actually do it with a chair. So yeah, anybody can join in on that practice. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.